Animals go extinct. It happens all the time. Over millions of years, so many creatures have vanished from Earth. Take the dinosaurs. A wipeout so huge it changed the whole planet. But nobody ever saw one alive. No drawing, no photo, no video. Everything before cameras is gone for good. The last 100 years are different. We finally have what fossils can't give us. Real video of animals right before they vanished forever. The number of species this happened to is scary. Way more than most people think. 7 of them matter right now. These are their last sightings, caught on film. Watch closely. For some of these creatures, this footage is the only proof they were ever real. Number 7. The Imperial Woodpecker. Why does a shaky 85-second video from 1956 still haunt scientists today? Because it's the only video ever taken of the biggest woodpecker on Earth. The Imperial Woodpecker was almost 2 feet tall. It had a shiny black body, white stripes on its back, and a strong white beak that could rip through tree bark like paper. This bird once ruled the Sierra Madre Mountains in Mexico. Thousands of them used to tap on old pine trees so loudly that the sound echoed through the valleys. People who lived nearby called it the king of the forest. But then loggers came and cut down the old forests. Mile after mile of ancient pine trees were chopped down. With no old trees left, the birds had no food. Hunters made it even worse. They shot the birds for fun and for old-time medicine. In 1956, a dentist named William Rhine picked up a small camera and hiked deep into the mountains of Durango, Mexico. Nobody asked him to go. He went on his own. What he filmed is sad to watch. The video is blurry and faded, but you can see her, a single female imperial woodpecker holding onto a dead tree. She hops up the trunk in quick, jerky moves. She taps. She stops. She looks around, as if she is searching for something that isn't there anymore. 85 seconds. That is all we have. The last real look at a bird whose family had lived for millions of years. She spread her huge wings one time, just once. Then she vanished behind the tree. No one ever filmed another one again. At least the imperial woodpecker faded away quietly in faraway mountains. The next bird on our list was not so lucky. Its last days played out on the wide open grasslands of America, a lonely bird doing a mating dance with no partner left to dance with. Number 6. The Heath Hen. Picture an empty field at sunrise. It's spring, 1932. The place is Martha's Vineyard, an island in Massachusetts. A small brown bird walks into the grass. He puffs up his chest. 2 bright orange pouches blow up on his neck like balloons. Then he starts to dance. He spins around. He stomps his feet. He makes a deep, booming call. The sound travels across the whole field. He is calling for a female bird, any female, but there isn't one. The females have been gone for years. Ben doesn't know this, so he keeps dancing every spring morning for almost 4 years, all alone. His name was Booming Ben. He was the last Heath Hen on Earth. Long ago, these birds lived all along the east coast of America. They lived from Maine down to Virginia. Thousands of them boomed at sunrise each spring. Even America's founding fathers ate them for dinner. They were so common that servants in Old Boston complained about eating Heath Hen too often. Then humans got greedy. Hunters killed them for cheap meat. People cut down forests to make farms. By 1870, every Heath Hen on the mainland was gone. Only a small group was left, living on one island, Martha's Vineyard. In 1908, people made a safe area to protect them, but it was too late. A wildfire in 1916 burned the island during nesting season. Cold winters killed many of the birds that lived. Then sickness from farm chickens killed the rest. By 1929, only Booming Ben was left. Scientists tried everything to help. They searched every part of the island. They asked people to report any sightings. They even offered money for a female bird found alive. None were ever found. Ben kept dancing. The old video you're watching was filmed by a scientist named Alfred Gross. It is some of the only video ever made of a living Heath Hen. March 11, 1932. People saw Ben for the last time. He walked into the bushes and never came back. No body was found, just silence, where his booming call used to ring across the field. A whole family of birds ended with one bird dancing for no one. But the next story is even quieter. No fields, no dance, just one frog in a glass tank. He made a sound no human had ever heard. Scientists hit record. What they caught was the very last voice of his kind. Number 5. Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog. Picture this. A small glass tank. One frog sits inside. The month is December 2014. Scientists are recording him for the first time. A deep, sad croak fills the lab. His name was Tuffy. He was the last Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog on Earth. Why does this matter? No human had ever heard this kind of frog call before. Nobody knew what they sounded like. This recording was the first one ever made. It was also the last. These frogs used to live high in the trees of Panama. They were huge. They could glide from tree to tree like little gliders. The dads were amazing too. They let their own babies eat the skin off their backs to grow strong. They were kings of the cloud forest. But now, just one frog, one tank, one voice calling for a mate who would never come. So what killed them all? Fungus. It was tiny. You couldn't even see it, but it was deadly. It spread across Panama fast, like fire in dry grass. Scientists rushed to save the frogs. They grabbed everyone they could find. Tuffy was one of them. They tried to breed him. It didn't work. They tried again. It didn't work. Year after year, he sat in that tank. He was the only one of his kind. People cared about him, but they could not save him. On September 26, 2016, Tuffy was found dead. His whole species was gone. His voice would never be heard again. But wait, there is another last recording, and this one might hurt even more. It's a tiny bird with a dark mask across its face. It lived in the rainforests of Hawaii. Scientists found the very last male of his kind. They rushed him to a special place where they could try to breed him. Their plan was simple: find him a female before it was too late. What happened next? Nobody saw it coming. Number 4. Puli. Here's what's crazy. Scientists didn't even know this bird existed until 1973. A group of students stumbled on it deep in the forests of Maui. It had a black mask across its face like a tiny bandit. Locals called it the Puli. By the time we learned about it, it was already dying out. The footage you're looking at was shot in 2004. That shaky clip of a small brown bird sitting on a gloved hand, that's the last one. A male, missing one eye, tired, weak. Scientists spent months tracking him down. They wanted to pair him with a female, save the bloodline, give this species one last shot. They never found her. So why did they vanish? Mosquitoes. Humans brought them to Hawaii by accident. Those mosquitoes carried a disease called avian malaria. Hawaiian birds had zero defense against it. Rats ate their eggs. Pigs destroyed the snails they needed to survive. The whole forest turned against them. That one-eyed male died on November 26, 2004, in a cage, surrounded by scientists who were trying everything to save him. His death wasn't quiet. It was the end of millions of years of evolution, a bloodline older than human history, gone in one final breath. No more Puli, ever. But here's where it gets worse. The next creature on our list didn't die in a forest. It didn't die from disease. It died on an operating table. A giant older than the dinosaurs, a living fossil weighing over 200 pounds. Scientists put her under anesthesia, desperately trying to save her species. She never woke up. What you're about to see is the last female of her kind, and her final moments will haunt you. Number 3. Yangtze giant softshell turtle. April 2019. A zoo in Suzhou, China. Cameras rolling. Scientists holding their breath. A shadow drifts slow through cloudy green water. What they filmed that day became the final proof that a ghost once existed. This was no normal turtle. She was a giant, over 4 feet long, heavier than a grown man. A creature that ruled the Yangtze River for tens of millions of years before humans ever picked up a tool. And what you're watching is her final moment alive. Her soft shell glides forward. Her pink neck stretches out one last time. White coats lean over the tank. Lenses zoom in tight. Nobody speaks. She was over 90 years old, the last known female of her entire species on planet Earth. The team had one shot left. They sedated her gently. They tried to collect her eggs for artificial breeding. It was their 5th attempt in years. She never woke up again. So how did it get this bad? For thousands of years, her kind swam free across China and Vietnam. Fishermen feared them. Villagers worshipped them. In Hanoi, one became a living legend in a sacred lake. Then the modern world arrived. Factories poisoned the rivers. Dams cut their paths in half. Hunters sold their meat for profit. Poachers dug up their eggs from the sand. By the year 2000, only a handful were left. Think about that for 1 second. A creature that outlived dinosaurs, outlived ice ages, outlived every empire in human history, wiped out in less than 1 human lifetime. She wasn't abandoned in that final hour. Scientists held her shell. Keepers who knew her for years stood crying at the edge of the tank. Guards waited outside the building. But biology doesn't care about love. No daughters, no sons, no future. An old male still swims in a tank nearby. Nobody knows if he can still father babies. Nobody knows if a single wild female is hiding somewhere in the muddy lakes of Vietnam. What you saw in that grainy footage was not just a turtle dying. It was an ancient bloodline closing its eyes forever. Number 2. Northern white rhino, Sudan. You are watching the last male northern white rhino on Earth. His name was Sudan. This video was filmed in March 2018. Look at him. He can barely stand. His legs keep giving out. A man named Joseph kneels next to him in the dirt. He strokes Sudan's massive face one last time. Hours later, the vets put him to sleep. His body was shutting down. He was 45 years old. With that single breath, his bloodline ended. Think about what this rhino once was. Thousands of his kind ruled Africa. Huge, powerful, untouchable. So what killed them? Men with guns. That's simple. Poachers hunted them for their horns. One horn sells for more than gold. People grind it into powder. They believe it cures sickness. It does not. It is just keratin, the same stuff as your fingernails. That lie wiped out his entire species. Sudan left behind 2 daughters, Najin, Fatu, both female. Neither can carry a baby. Armed rangers guard them every second of every day. But without Sudan, the male line was finished forever. This footage is not just a dying animal in the dirt. It is the end of 55 million years of history, gone in one afternoon. Now close your eyes. Picture a striped beast, part dog, part tiger, pacing in a cold, concrete cage. The zookeepers forgot to let him inside for the night. In a few hours, he will be the last one too. Number 1. Tasmanian tiger. Now watch this clip closely. 80 seconds, filmed in 1933. The only sharp footage we have. Look at him pace. Look at him yawn. Look at him stare through those bars. He doesn't know he's the last one. He doesn't know his species is over. He's just waiting for someone to feed him. We knew, we watched, we still let it happen. 7 bloodlines, millions of years of evolution, all ended in front of human cameras. Somewhere on this planet, right now, the last of another species is taking its final breath. Will we save it, or will it become next year's final footage? Comment below which story hit you the hardest. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one.